Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Wheat. I'm a rancher as well as a vivid hunter. I'd like to start off by thanking both the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services as well as the National Park Service for their efforts and support for all of our wildlife necessities that we have available to us. Furthermore, I would also like to extend a thanks to all those who showed up today to support their ideas and opinions based on the reintroduction of the wolves into the Predator National Park in the state of controversy here in the great USA. Please allow me to start off with just a few questions that I believe need to be answered before we can really understand the matter at hand, so that way we can better base our concerns and opinions on over this matter. Some of the questions I have would be, the reasoning behind why we want to reintroduce wolves, into our environment. What are we going to gain from this? Um, Secondly, what type of management plan do we have? Do we even have a management plan? And if so, has it been fully identified and regulated? Third is how drastically will this affect not only the current wildlife, but also future wildlife that's inhabiting in the area in which these wolves will be reintroduced to. And fourth, should those of us like myself, like I said, I'm a rancher. I primarily thrive on my livestock um, from my family and I's well-being. Should we be concerned in any way, shape, or form when these wolves get reintroduced? I believe the answer to each of the stated questions are extremely valuable to the community in terms of understanding the expected results that they're looking to gain from reintroduction. As one who supports the overall success of our natural resources, I will say that I am rather a bit appalled by the idea of reintroducing these wolves. Sorry. Um, Maybe I'm uneducated in this manner, or maybe I'm just a little more concerned about my family's securities with our livestock. As a rancher, my family and I have always relied heavily on our livestock to fund our way of life. That is our job. That is our income that we live on. Um, Furthermore, the 1/3 area that they're looking at these wolves to be released on and roam on, although it's private land, my land backs directly up to um, where these wolves are going to be reintroduced to. So it kind of gives me a little bit bigger of a concern here. So, my ranch has been in our family for, you know, 4 generations now. Um, and so it kind of feels as though we're being a bit threatened with our way of life and how we do business. So you can kind of get a general idea of how why I'm uneasy with this whole idea. What happens should my livestock be tormented by the wolves, or should they themselves become prey to these scavengers? Furthermore, as I said, I am a vivid hunter. We rely heavily on the elk and the white-tailed deer in our in this area. How much of an impact will this have on these animals? Can we foresee a drastic decline in the population between the two due to the wolves? Um, will these stipulations continue to impact our yearly bag limits? Will these species continue to decline? And what other trickle effects will this have on our ecosystem? At this point in time, I feel there are just too many what ifs and unanswered questions to feel comfortable with supporting this type of idea. To conclude, I currently do not support this idea of reintroducing wolves into our national park. It seems to be too much of a liability to many of us landowners who rely heavily on the natural resources that are provided, as well as an abundance of livestock that we have to keep safe. Until we can be sure there's a plan of action for both our game animals and protection of our livestock, I thoroughly urge everyone to vote against this type of action. Perhaps further educating not only myself but as well as the community on the aspects and the ideas behind this type of plan and how it will benefit us both short term and long term for the overall effectiveness. I think maybe at that point we might be able to reach some type of conclusion. But until then, as I said, I cannot support this type of action, so I must vote no. And I encourage everyone to vote no on this until we have further answers on what exactly is going on. That is all I have. So thank you everyone for listening and taking your time. Appreciate it.